This is Craig Stewart's RaceWorks in San Diego, California. Their off-road luxury pre-runners are the best in the world. The latest is being built for the TSCO race team of Gary and Mark Weyhrich, the world's first Ford Raptor luxury pre-runner. In Santee, California, the tube has arrived. The Ford Raptor pre-runner can now go from piles on pallets to a structure on the jig, something with shape.
So today's the day that we are finally starting our production. We got our tubes yesterday, we got all our stuff to go and move forward. So today's the day we're gonna start assembly. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set the bulkhead center, and we're gonna put this on, string line it, center on the fixture, tack it onto the fixture, and then everything we do comes off of this bulkhead right here. So that's where we start. Because if they're all gonna be different from the books, which it looks like they are because that pink tube right there doesn't set where it normally does. Yeah, let me do that. Let me, like, it doesn't like this.
This jigsaw puzzle of 1 3/4 120 wall chromoly tubing means things are getting serious. The tube is organized, categorized, and set into the first patterns on the jig. Getting it right means 1/100th of an inch. If it isn't square, it's not tacked up.
Yeah, if you build anything out of square to begin with, you're just compounding the problem. When you get to the end, it's going to be so far out of whack. So everything from here on out has to be perfect, or else it's not going to be in any way, shape, or form perfect when you're done. Well, the process is you come this way. We have a pallet of tubes, and they're all etched with numbers on them. Rob here is going through them right now with our sheets and identifying them and putting them in position for us to start putting it together. Okay, so we have a pile of tubes on a pallet, and here's our measurements. I have to build a truck with this in 4 months. Perfect. I think the cab's gonna go on in about 2 days. And then we have to start, still hand fit the top rails inside of the cab because it has to be a precise fit.
With the cab set in place, these guys will determine exactly where it will sit in relation to the tubing and make a few adjustments to the cab's structure, slicing and dicing for an exact fit. The cab comes back off, and over the course of the next week, the chassis will rise from the jig. All of this tubing is assembled according to a specific plan. There is no guessing here. As they work through the process, the rear end is formed, the cockpit comes together, and the front end comes to life. So that's that. With the chassis complete, this skeleton is starting to show us what's to come.
Okay, so now we're getting ready to drop the cab. Usually what we do is we'll fit the tubes to the cab, and then once we get everything fit in place, we do a little welding, and then we'll pick the cab up so we can weld the top. There's been a rumor that says RaceWorks doesn't weld the top of their cabs, but we do, and we always have. So we pick the cab up, weld the top, and then we'll put it back down on the chassis, weld it up. Now, after we do that, it'll be like a permanent fixture of the truck.
In the end, this will be a Ford Raptor. But underneath is something the engineers at Ford Motor Company maybe only dreamed about. A fantasy never thought possible in the boardrooms of Detroit. But here it sits in Southern California, about to become very, very real.